Have you heard about the industry that has had an insane amount of growth for the past 50 years? Well, many people play video games, and I'm sure most of you do or have. Me, myself, I've played video games for most of my life now, and I've had a very fun time with it. Video games have made a huge impact on society. They also have had a long history of impacting just a different generation. They have had a long history, the industry itself. So, firstly, understanding the history of video games will give you a better understanding of the impact it has had. My name is Jake Kirby, and this is the history and impact that video games have had. So the history. They date all the way back to the 1950s. Alexander Versteiner stated that in 1958, the first video game was created purely for entertainment, and it was called Tennis for Two. What this was, it was a public exhibition that this laboratory had, and it would have the local high school and college students come out to see what they've been working on at the lab. So Dr. Higginbotham, he had this idea that he would create this thing that would keep people's attentions and just really get them to come to the lab to see their other work, but also giving them a reason to come to the lab, something that would just keep their attention. So hundreds of people stood in line to play this game, and many came back to play it again. This was a huge success, and really all it was almost like the video game Pong that's known today. It was just two bars on the sides of the screen, and there's just a ball going back and forth, and it just emulated like you were playing tennis. So, although it was very popular at the exhibition, Dr. Higginbotham actually never got a patent for it. He didn't see the success in the future of the video game industry. It wasn't even an industry at the time. You can't really blame the guy. You know, he is well respected in this industry, but I'm sure if he would have got that patent, he would have been a very rich man. So, he actually took this thing out of the exhibition several years later because it was actually so popular. People were coming to the lab just to play that, and they weren't paying attention to any of the more important stuff. So they actually took this out. So fast forward a couple years, the first home video game console was released in 1972, with many more to come after, and it was actually called the Odyssey. And this sold 350,000 units, and it really wasn't considered a huge success compared to the next home console to come out called the Atari 2600, which sold 30 million units over its lifetime. But the Odyssey was virtually this home console that you could plug into your TV, and it was just black and white on the TV, and it was just three little white dots on your TV. And what they did, they took these templates that you could attach to your TV screen and make it look like it was a tennis court, make it look like it was a football field, make it look like it was a hockey rink. So for example, if you were to take the tennis court template, you would attach it on your TV, and it's like transparent, so you can still see the little white balls behind the tennis court, and it just made it look like you were playing tennis on a tennis court or playing, hockey on a hockey rink. So this was a huge step in the gaming industry, but like I said before, it wasn't a huge success. So when the Atari 2600 came out, there were a lot of games that were sold, or there were a lot of games that were available on this, and many people bought it. Riyad Shikani stated that the brown box was licensed to Magnavox, which released the system as the Magnavox Odyssey in 1972, and it was actually preceded by Atari by a few months, which is often mistakenly thought of as the first home video game console just because of its success. So fast forward to the current time, thousands of new consoles have been created. Arcade games even had a huge success. So in the 1980s, arcade games started to come out, and they had a huge success. And even today, they still have a huge success. Games came out like Galaga, games came out like Pac-Man, these huge household name games that really made gaming what it is today came out. So the arcade games really put a stamp on the gaming industry. And just the technology in general with gaming has improved an insane amount. And that's kind of getting to my next point. The technology within video games have come a long way. So when you compare the graphics of the games that are played today to the ones that were played in the beginning, there's a huge difference. Dave Johnson stated that when the first video games on the market debuted, their graphics were blocky and basic, really lacking the detail in what we see in games today. To put this power difference in perspective, you can use something called flops, and what flops are, they measure the graphical processing power of like home consoles and stuff. So the PlayStation 2 had 6,200 megaflops, while the Xbox Series X, which is the newest console, had 12 teraflops. And a megaflop is a million, and a teraflop is a trillion. So when you compare 6,200 megaflops to 12 teraflops, that is like a huge difference that it's hard to even wrap your head around. So that's, that just goes to show how the technology has improved in gaming just over the last 50 years, and I'm very excited to see what's to come in the future. Something that really made the gaming, or helped the gaming industry to become what it is today, is portable gaming. The portability and size of video game consoles have made gaming what it is today. Donald Mellison stated that handheld video gaming has always been a few steps behind its console counterpart, but that's proven to be a very small trade-off for the benefits of portability, and to some even part of the appeal. So, when you look at portable gaming, it is less powerful than home console gaming, and that's just the fact that it is smaller. It's hard to fit all that power into a smaller device, such as a portable gaming device. But, that's really a part of the appeal, because where it is portable, you're allowed to take it to school. You can take it on that car ride. You can take it to your grandma's house. You can take it to your friend's house. And that's really why a lot of people enjoy it. To put the popularity in perspective for you, the Nintendo DS has sold over 154 million units over its lifetime. So, that's why you can just see how much of a success this has been, and just why the portability and size of it appeals to a lot of people. So, my last point I want to get into is that video games have helped a lot of different people across the entire world. They make it very easy to talk and connect with people around the world. Andrew Fishman stated that although that players are physically isolated, they're spending time with friends in the same way that people do when they talk to one another on the phone. So, I know a lot of people who haven't grown up around video games and stuff, some people might not agree with them and look at them a waste of time, but, it's just the same way if you were to socialize with someone and talk to someone on the phone. It really, you're still talking to these friends you meet online, and you're developing many skills that I will get into that have been proven in studies and stuff like that. A study conducted by Pew Research Center showed that 89% of gamers play with friends that they know in person, and 54% of them play with people they have only met online. So this little statistic, I really want to focus on that 54%. It's crazy to me that 54% of people who play video games play with people that they have only met online. So they have never met these people in real life. They have no clue what these people look like. They're just simply playing a video game with them, and they're making close friends. I know myself, I have made many friends playing video games, and also many of my friends have made friends playing video games. I've even met people that live in different countries, and it's so awesome to me to think that people who have completely different lives than me, they do everything completely different than me. We can bond over this mutual video game, and we can, become really good friends, and I consider a lot of those people to be my really good friends. Video games also help people grow as a person in many different aspects. Like I said before, they have been doing so many more studies just for the fact that the video gaming industry is just becoming so huge, they almost have to. Kara Lou stated that a number of recent studies have indicated that video games, even the violent ones, can help kids develop essential emotional and intellectual skills that support academic achievement. So it has been proven in the classroom that video games, can help your kids, and they can help your students. There was another study that I really like this information. According to gamesandlearning.org, 70% of teachers said they saw an increase in student engagement when using educational video games. So where video games, they really are getting so big, they're actually, teachers are bringing it to the classroom to help their students. I know myself, video game type assignments in school have always helped me because they were fun, but they were also informative, and it was just really easy to keep my attention, and just students in general, it's really easy to keep their attention while they are having fun, but yet also learning. So all these studies have really shown that gaming can help you out as a person, no matter how old you are, no matter if you're a kid, you're an adult, they help everyone in many different ways. So to conclude, video games have had a long history. The technology has come a long way, and they have helped people grow in many different aspects. Video games have had a huge impact on society, and myself, I'm grateful to be able to see what video games have done so far, and I'm super excited for the future of them. Thank you.